Hi everybody, it's me Joe, and in this short video I want to explain the passive voice. Some students have asked me, hey Joe, what is the passive and what do we use it for and how do we make it? So I'm going to make a short video and try to explain it to you. So the first thing is, what is the passive? The passive is a way to make sentences to explain things. Usually we use the active voice. The active voice is when we talk about ourselves or a person who is doing something. The active is the opposite, when we talk about something being done to something. Okay? It's a little hard to understand without an example. So right now I'm going to show you an example of the active voice, and then I'm going to show you an example of the passive voice. Okay? Okay. Here is an example of the active voice. So we usually use the active voice. An example is, Joe ate a sandwich. So as you can see, Joe is the subject. That's the person doing the thing, doing the action. Ate, that's the verb. That's the action being done, what's happening. And the last part, a sandwich, that's the object. So 99% of the time, this is how we make sentences. We do subject, verb, object. Okay? Now I'm going to show you an example of a passive sentence. Okay, now here's an example of the passive. We sometimes use the passive voice. An example, a sandwich was eaten. So the sandwich is, again, it's the noun. Then we put in the be verb. It can be different tenses, but right now it's the simple past, was. And then we put the past participle. Sometimes students call it the PP. Was eaten. So that's how you change Joe ate a sandwich to a sandwich was eaten. Now you can put in the person who did it, but you don't have to. So it could be expanded to, a sandwich was eaten by Joe. Now, let me tell you why we use this. Now, why would we ever want to use the passive? The reasons are, sometimes we don't know who did something. For example, if you say, the car was stolen. I don't know who stole the car, but the important thing is the car was stolen. It's gone. Another reason could be, it's not important who did it. So if you said, the medicine was given to me, maybe it's not important who gave me the medicine. It was a nurse or a doctor, somebody, but the important thing is I got my medicine. Or sometimes we want to keep a secret, right? If somebody ate the cookies, you could say, the cookies were eaten, but I don't know who ate the cookies. All right? So to review, sometimes it doesn't matter, sometimes we don't know, and sometimes it's a secret. All right? Now, let me show you a couple more examples of some active sentences, and then see if you can change them into passive sentences using the formula I showed you before. All right? I'll show you the active sentence, and then I'm going to get you to pause the video and try and figure it out. Then I'll show you the answers. Okay? Let's try. Okay, so here we can see some examples of active sentences. So the first one is Joe created a lesson. That's the active. We got the subject, verb, and object. So now I want you to pause the video and see if you can think on your own how we would write that in a passive sentence. And then start the video again and you'll see the answer. Okay? Okay, we're back. So now you can see the answer. A lesson, so that's our object, our noun, was, that's the be verb, created. That's the past participle. A lesson was created by Joe. If you want to say who did it, you can put it in at the end, by Joe. Let's go to the last example. See if you can fix that one. The active sentence is Gail slapped Joe. So Gail, that's the subject, that's my wife. Slapped, that's you hit somebody with your hand. That's the verb. And Joe, that's the object. So now, let's pause the video again and see if you can figure out how to change this over. All right, everybody, we're back. And as you can see, now the passive is there. Did you get it right? Joe was slapped by Gail. I don't know why my wife would slap me. She loves me deeply, but that's just a good example of grammar. All right. If you have any comments, write them below and I'll try to write back to you. Okay, that's it for now. Bye-bye.